Okay, it is Friday, November 18th at 1:06 p.m. on the East Coast United States. Quick update with Million Token and general news real quick. Some things to go over. Let me just get this disclaimer out of the way. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Please do your own research. Thank you. So, Million Token still range bound. I think we're still below $2. For the most part, in the three major blockchains, Ethereum, Polygon, and Binance Smart Chain. But before that, we're just going to go over real quick some of the general stuff. The million pool is at 18.45%. Now, TechLead's been depositing like 10,000 tokens into the pool the last 2 or 3 times, and it usually lasts 2 months or 8.5 weeks. So I figure the pool probably will run dry next week. My best guess is Tuesday, but it could be give or take a couple of days. So watch out for that. I know when the pool runs dry, this APY will say like 0%, or the pool rate will say like 0 per week. And at that point, it'd probably be wise to remove your tokens from the pool. No point in having them staked if they're not earning any yield. So just keep a heads up on that for next week. I'll be removing mine when that happens. Proposals, no new proposals there. The website looks good. They added the million white paper down here. So you click on that and you'll see the white paper there. So that was good to see that was uploaded. And the million liquidity farming is finished. The APY is 0 right now. I think the last time I looked at it was like 50%. They had 15 stakers. So people might be removing their liquidity from the pool. The good thing about that would be obviously, if people continue to buy, the price will probably go up pretty quickly because there's not that much liquidity. And the downside is, if they sell, they're not going to get that much USDC because, there's not that much liquidity. It might go down to the peg, especially if the pool ends next week. And then I assume some percentage of the people in the pool will sell. Like last time, we had like one person sold like 14,000 tokens in a day, I think. So, if the liquidity is low, then that'll bring us closer to the $1 peg, which would be a great buying opportunity because at that point there would be no risk as long as the $1 million liquidity pool stays there, which it should. I know, as far as I know, unless it would be rug pulled by TL, but I don't see that happening. So the liquidity farm right now, unless it gets replenished, it's at 0%. It's ended up for the moment. And we still have whales selling. We had the 22,000 whale here. He sold 1,000 about a week ago, 7 days ago. In addition to other whales selling also. He doesn't have his staked right now. He pulled out of the staking 42 days ago, so over a month ago. He pulled out. Is that right? I think he moved them over. But he hasn't staked these tokens in a while though, he or she. So we got the whale still selling outside the pool as well. Liquidity is also very low right now, as you can tell. So large buyers or sellers are going to push the price around a lot, and you could just go to Uniswap and play around with that too. Let me just close that out real quick. So yeah, we haven't had too many times where million tokens below $2. So there's some news in the markets that Bitcoin might be going down to lower levels. There was a large transfer of Bitcoin to Binance, which I'll go over in a moment. But if you figure if there's one more sell-off in Bitcoin, then maybe million token will go below $2, like maybe $1.50 or lower. Only time will tell if the staking pool will get replenished. If not, I assume some percentage of the people unstaking will sell, just because it's the end of the year. They could do harvest their losses and taxes or whatever. But if you put $1,000 in and to buy a million token now, it'll go from like what was it, 195 to now it says 217. I just this is a moment ago and it was only $2.01. There it goes. Now it's $2.01. So that's like a 2.6% difference for a $1,000 buy. A pretty big price jump just for $1,000. And then let's what happens if somebody sold like 1,000 tokens real quick. Just kind of curious what that would bring the price down to. Let's see if I could switch this around. There we go, $1.86. So, if the pool ends, I assume there's going to be several thousand that are going to be sold. So let's say collectively, if 10,000 tokens were sold from the pool, and we're already at $1.99 or 95, so that could bring down the price down to $1.35 per million token, or 30% drop. I definitely could see that happening. It could be even more than 10,000. So just keep that in mind. And let's see now. I just saw Crypto Zombie. He came out with a video today. 138,000 Bitcoin sent to Binance. So he says in his video, like, last time there's something like this happened, 2 weeks later, we had like a 40% drop in Bitcoin. So just something to keep in mind that came across real quick. We were talking about the stock market last time. I was saying, we come up to these resistant levels and we could have a rejection and a downward trend, which it looks like on the daily chart. We've had 1, 2, 3 days down since coming close to this resistance line. We did find support on this green moving average line here. Maybe we can come back here and retest these upper levels, have a fake out, and then maybe a rollover. But so much negativity in the news, I think the overall trend is still down. I think that's pretty safe to say. The dollar, we had this bearish cross here on the daily chart. So that's a short-term bearish. Maybe the dollar can reverse down lower. But, on the weekly chart, we have even touched the green support line here. So it's still an upward trend overall. But, maybe short-term we have a correction in the dollar, which is provided that the recent rally we had in the stock market. So what else is there? Bitcoin, I think, I'll pull up my limit orders real quick. Where was my limit orders? Here they are. So if we have the so-called dump this weekend or the next 2 weeks, I'm pretty sure my limit order is going to get filled. And this is the weekly chart. We had previous support on the 200 weekly moving average here for the longest time, right? Yeah, the bottom was called here in November 2018, got support at the 200 weekly moving average. And then again here, March of 2020, that's the COVID crash. Now, if you extended this white line here, it probably would have caught that also. And now, the next moving average is this purple line, which we got support. So that was a 200. I think that's a 300 moving average, and this purple line is the 350. If you go to the 400 moving average, that's somewhere around, $13,720, give or take. So that's why I have those limit orders so tight around this moving average. Maybe if we wick down a little bit below it. But we got perfect support on it right here earlier. So it just seems like it goes down one notch each time. But, we'll see. The thing that has me worried is, Genesis and their parent company who owns Grayscale. There's rumors around, like, if, they're asking for like $1 billion by Monday. Grayscale is in a trust. So I don't know if they could get liquidated. That's going to affect so many people because a lot of people have their IRAs in it, or they rolled over their 401ks into it because it was the only instrument where you can put your retirement money into Bitcoin in the United States. Me personally, I have, and my wife have IRA type money in Grayscale, and right now it's trading at a minus 40% discount, which I got wrecked on that. And but I figured, if you just keep it in the trust, it eventually will become like a spot Bitcoin ETF. I'm not planning on touching this for years. So I'm okay, because I know it's eventually going to go to book value eventually. But, if this whole FTX contagion, if it somehow affects Grayscale, and 50% of the people thinks there's risk to it being dissolved, and then, man, I don't know. I suppose I would get my money maybe years later once it's sorted out, but because it's in a trust, the other half of the people say you don't understand bankruptcy laws, you can't do that with a trust. I don't know what to believe, but you know my thinking is probably like others who, if you're in the Bitcoin trust, you're probably at a loss. Me personally, I don't want to take it out for safekeeping because, I'd be taking out a massive loss, and we're already probably near a bottom. And if this is all for nothing and Bitcoin shoots up really quickly, I'm not going to be able to react fast enough to get my money back into the trust. And so, hopefully, Bitcoin Trust Grayscale won't be affected. But if this somehow affects Grayscale's Bitcoin Trust, I mean, that'll be like the final nail in the coffin. It would have to be bottom. Or if Michael Saylor gets liquidated, that would definitely be bottom. But I don't see that happening. So hopefully by Christmas time, we'll be turning around. Certainly by next year in January, I think the bottom should have been in already sometime between now and then, if it hasn't already hit bottom. But if 138,000 Bitcoin just hit Binance, I don't think they're going to just be there sitting there to scare everybody. I think they're going to probably sell. And it seems like somewhere around mid-December is usually the bottom for whatever reasons, probably taxes. So, I'm going to keep my limit orders on my exchange, and as they get filled, I'll just transfer my Bitcoin to my wallet for safekeeping. But be careful having any money or crypto on exchanges, because you just never know what exchange is going to go down next. Because Gemini could be affected also. I hear rumors about Gemini, with the whole thing with the parent company and Genesis. That's what I hear anyway. Gas fees are still fairly low at this time of day. That's pretty good. So if you're going to be moving or unstaking your coins from the million pool, then check the gas fees. If this thing's like 20 or higher or whatever, maybe 100 sometimes, I would just wait. Do it like in the middle of the night or something, and it'll just cost you just a couple bucks in Ethereum gas fees to unstake. And that's what I will do. So let's see now. Million token. Let's take a look what's going on here. We see some people already removing liquidity. Almost 200 there, another 50 or so there 3 days ago. The last buy order I see was 2 days ago. So not many people buying. I know a lot of people probably tapped out. They've been trying to buy the dip for the longest time, and they're probably waiting for the next paycheck to buy a million token if they want to buy. Real quick at my Twitter page, some information here. Social Security is now, selling U.S. Treasuries rather than holding them. So I think this will probably run out in 2030 or something like that. Check out Lynn Alden's page here. And what else is there? Yeah, the news about the Genesis and DCG and Grayscale, some information there. The Grayscale news has got me the most worried. But I think I'm going to just have to sit on mine and hope for the best. And I always knew when I got into that I just don't like the idea of not holding the keys. I know there's like some products out there that you could buy Bitcoin and have it in an IRA and hold it yourself, but I know it's more complicated and higher fees, but it's probably worth it if you could do it. Have somebody else manage it, but somehow you would manage the keys yourself. So that would be definitely the way to go. But I looked into it and I just didn't feel too safe about it. And again, the fees would be a lot higher too. But again, the Grayscale fees are probably much higher anyway. What else is there? News about the markets. The FTX compared to other hacks in the crypto space. Genesis, and then here we are talking about my last thing. So I think that pretty much covers it. The main news is keep an eye out for the million pool APY next week. I think it'll probably run dry. I'm not sure if Tech Lead is going to replenish the pool. Your guess is as good as mine. I know he probably has less than 10,000 that I know of tokens, and they're like in various wallets that are published that aren't secret. So, and the liquidity farming is at zero right now. So you might see a lot more volatility with the price as people pull their liquidity. The people that have been providing liquidity, they're probably going to pull it out since they aren't going to be getting those rewards with the farming. Which, the last time I checked, I think there was like over 1,000 still in the harvest pool. So they probably haven't pulled them out yet. So that'll also be some more selling pressure too. The people that have been staking will probably collect those rewards, and I've noticed most of them have been selling. That's just the way it is. So if you like this content, give me a like, subscribe, comment down below. Have a great weekend, and please share. Thanks.